I've been working in this sector for over 40 years before ERP systems were first thought of. But it's not about me. It's not about Apagen. It's not about any particular ERP solution. What it is about, it's about you. It's about your business and how you address things going forward in your business and how to get the right result. Today is really, as you can see on the screen, you'll see on my screen above that and when we know there's lots of things we need to do within an ERP solution, but how do we get there? So that's what I'm going to be talking about for the next few minutes. And the W, of course, is why. Why ERP? What is ERP? I'm sure you have heard that they say it's enterprise resource planning. Lots of companies will say it stands for everybody resents purchasing. There have been so many failed implementations of large ERP solutions across the globe where companies have spent an absolute fortune to get nowhere. A good few years ago, one of the clients I was working with said to me, we're going to replace your system with SAP. Fine, I said. It won't do what you need it to do, but go ahead. 3 years later, while still using my system, this client had a new CEO who gave me a call and said, Paul, we've spent £35 million on SAP and it still does not do what your system does. That is quite typical in this world we live in. So the first thing is, why? Why are you looking for an ERP solution in your business? What are the problems you want to address? If it's not going to give you any benefit of the bottom line, then why do it? Sounds a strange comment, but the reality is there. There's no point in trying to replace what you've already got with a different flavor. It's got to be delivering some benefits and improvements to your business. So why ERP? Obviously, there are tons of benefits that can be made available to you. And depending on who you're talking to for which product somebody's trying to guide you down the path, there'll be multiple lists. But the key things normally are getting rid of multiple spreadsheets, standardizing on one system, so you don't have different versions of the truth on different databases. Businesses are changing to silo divisions with no integration. We need to pull things together. So these are the challenges that a business wants. Now, how do they get that? Because the problem we all have in life and in business is that we don't know what we don't know. So we're going down a path to say, how do we decide which ERP solution to go for? And the danger is you don't really know, because you may engage a number of different vendors with different solutions, and there's plenty of them out there. But their problem is they can only give you a hierarchical view of what they can deliver. It's not until we actually understand your business working with a specific application will we know whether it's going to work or not. So that brings us on to the H, how. How are you going to decide how is it going to be implemented? Well, these touches we're talking about now, you see on the screen, is what you've been going through this morning, is having the right analysis. These things are not just a closed package the more and more our business involvement, the better. We don't. An author of a software program or an implementer of a software solution does not know your business, but we need to understand your business, and you need to understand your business to be able to map it to an implementation. It's not just your business now as you're currently running it, but how's it going to be in the future? What are you looking to do? Because that needs to be built into the solution as well. So we need to get together. We need to talk to all the different process owners within the business. So how one impacts on the other. Business sounds quite straightforward. People buy or sell or manufacture. At the end of the day, it's about selling services or products in the main and how you get those. But then there's multi-layers of business activities going on all the way through, which need to be joined up. And that's the beauty of an ERP solution. It can join them up. So we don't have double entry bookkeeping. We don't have that in the old-fashioned terms. We have it in the system. We don't have to duplicate data going in the system. But we need to know how you need to work your business. All businesses are different, even within the same market sector. So, and you can't possibly know everything about a solution, no matter what the flavor is, until you've gone through the mapping. So you need to work with an organization that's going to talk you through and spend some real time understanding your business. So it needs a hybrid type of person to be able to sit down and be that catalyst between you and your service provider, to actually understand your business and be the conduit to take that through to map it to the solution. That way, you're liable to get something that's going to fit. The problem is in the real world in which we live, this takes time and takes money. Time is money. People sitting in your business and your staff having to do these things, and you can't do that with every supplier. So what happens in reality, in most systems where you've got to pay for licenses, the organization will come in, do a very light lick through understanding your business, and then come up with a price and then try and get you into a contract. You cannot do a detailed business analysis with different suppliers, because you'll be spending multiple times to get the same result. So, but you need to understand your business, the implementer needs to understand the business, and we need to look at how that's going to fit with the solution that's been chosen, and where the gaps are and how we can address any changes. So the E is then about execution. We've looked at implementation methodology. Well, Apagen got a proven implementation methodology, is successful time and time again. But you have to make sure that the things are in tandem. It is your system, not anybody else's. You have the responsibility of working with your implementer to get to where you need to be. So you need an internal and an external project manager. Sometimes it's good to recruit somebody maybe on a contract basis to assist, that understands somewhere between the two, but you need to make sure that what you're going to be installing is going to fit your business, and that people are going to be able to work with it. Many system implementations fail because of poor user adoption. The users don't know how to work it or don't want to work it. So it's got to be detailed all the way through. You wouldn't dream of building an office block without having proper planning, proper plans, structural assessments. Now, this is no different. In fact, it's more serious, because the failure of an implementation can bring about the failure of a business. So this is not something to be taken into lightly or cheaply. If you want to do it on the cheap, then you're risking your business. You need to make sure that it's done professionally and all the way through. So the E in when is the execution. That is after you've already decided what you're going to buy. So N, necessity and what's necessary. So what we need to know here is, how did it meet the ROI, your return on your investment? Now, this should be outlined in the beginning, of course, when you're doing your original analysis, but what are you expecting? And how are you going to measure that? What KPIs are going to be put in place? There's no good just throwing a system in and saying, okay, was it good? Was it bad? Was it indifferent? No, you need to measure it. What's happening? You need regular review meetings. You need incident reporting, because there may be some things that are not working quite right. There may be some things, some processes that could be improved on. You need a future plan, and you need an agile solution. Businesses are changing. Yeah, I'm not sure how many of you business is exactly the same as it was 10 years ago. Businesses change. Companies buy other companies. You bring other products, other resources into the business. Your system needs to move with the times. It needs to be an agile solution. You need to be agile. You need to be driving the changes. And it's very important that these things are brought into play with your typical business planning. This isn't just another subset to a business. So with no power in the boardroom, it should be coming from the boardroom. I've worked with companies that have taken me into businesses they're planning to buy, so I can do an analysis of how that's going to fit with them and what they need to do to incorporate that into their systems before they even buy the company. This is vitally important, and it does mean a change of thought in many businesses regarding IT. Some businesses still look at it as a cost sector rather than part of the key business, and it should be in there. I welcome businesses that have introduced CIOs where they're taking it. So it's an important part of the business. It sets up your whole communication and business measurement. You cannot successfully run a business without knowing what's going on under the bonnet, and you can't do that without having the data. So this is the lifeblood of the business. It's one of the most important things to do in a business. So therefore, you need to do it right. So I'm not here to dilly-dally. I'm not here to talk about things that may or may not happen in the future, but you're sitting in this training, you've already realized the benefit of not being locked into a vendor that's literally trying to get your license fees off you every year in one way or another to make them rich. You do notice that all the vendors in the ERP space are pretty rich. You can take ownership of your own products, but you do need to work with an organization that's there to help you, to partner with you, to hold your hand, to guide you and show you what's coming over the hill. That way you can all have some success. And I wish you a great implementation. Anybody got?
Like, share and subscribe our YouTube channel videos, and you will be getting a lot. And yes, don't forget to comment upon these videos, because if you comment on these videos, this will really going to give us the motivation to upload more and more videos. Thank you so much. Stay tuned.